I've got your ball, boo. I've got your ball. I've got your... Jeez. I've got your ball, boo. I've got your ball. Are you gonna get your ball, boo? Go get it. Get the ball, boo. Get the ball. Did you get the ball, boo? You gonna give it to me now? She's like, no, I won't tease you. I won't tease you. Oh, come and get me. Come and get me. I won't get your boo. I won't get your ball. I won't get your ball, boo. Yes, a strong wind came and took him out. So we brought him in here. And if you could smell inside my house, you would think you were in a garden paradise. Essentially, we are. Right? So, anyways, I have so much chamomile. And it smells so sweet. It smells absolutely sweet. It's unlike any... Oh my gosh. It's unlike any chamomile in the grocery store. It's so sweet. I wish you could smell it. It's flower power. We're collecting all kinds of herbs and flowers for teas and soaps. My first few bloomed echinacea flowers. And I've got it well established in back, so come the end of the season I will start hacking and chopping and processing, harvesting the leaves and some roots. But this is a dried flower mix. I haven't decided on if it's going to be another tea or some type of lotion or, some type of beauty product. I chopped back dill, cilantro, oregano, chamomile. I've been cutting back chamomile at least every day and sometimes every other day when I can't get out there. And it just keeps producing more and more and more. It's such a problem. It's just such a problem. I don't know what to do. This batch of cilantro here, I am going to make a bunch of salsa. And then the cilantro that started flowering, we all know how wonderful cilantro is for detoxifying, is that, yeah, that's a word, I think. Detoxifying metals and all the nasty chemtrails they're spraying on us, or aerosols if you want to be scientifically technical and have anybody take you serious. Where's your ball, boo? Where's your ball? Get your ball. I'm gonna get your ball, boo. Where's your ball? Get your ball, boo. Boo boo. I need to bathe you today, give you another haircut. I can't see your eyes. Boo boo. Hey boo boo. Hey boo boo. Boo boo. Hey boo boo. Where's your ball, boo boo? Hey boo boo, where's your ball? So right now I'm dehydrating some oregano, some dandelion root. I got some really good dandelion roots the other day. And on the bottom tray I got pineapple. And I got more flowers. Lots of flowers. Okay, so when I first moved into this house, which was almost 30 years ago, I was told that this tree out here was called a lindle tree. And I wouldn't say I hated it, but there's actually another one over there that we cut down because it was right on top of the blue spruce that got sick and died. But they were too close together, so we took that one out. And the thing about linden, because it's a linden tree, not a lindle tree. I was told, and it was only a year ago that I learned about linden flowers and the wonderful properties it has to offer you, aiding in sleep. And it actually is numbing. I mean, if you make a really big, strong cup of linden flower tea, it numbs your mouth. So it's actually a pain reliever too. But anyway, that tree out there is a linden tree, and it hit me like a brick. Well, I just learned about these flowers about a year ago, and when the stuff started falling out, there's these leaves. Let me see if I can find. Here we go. Right here. See these leaves right here, or like outside of the flower, the bunch of flowers, and it was falling on the ground. I was looking at it. I was like, "Gosh, yeah, this is a linden tree, not a lindle tree." So I have a vast amount of linden flowers that I can harvest, and I don't have to buy linden flowers ever again. I need to trim this tree anyway for my garden, so it can get, because like from about, let's say from here over, it needs a little more sun because of this branch right here, and I was going to trim that back, so I'm going to wait till basically those flowers are in bloom, and I'm going to get up there somehow and chop and just let it drop, and I'll have enough till next year and then some, because look at all those flowers. I don't know if you can see all of those bunches of flowers that are getting ready to bloom. Let me see if I can get a closer shot. See that right there? They're getting ready to bloom. That's the flowers. So that was a pleasant surprise for me. Okay, so my last video, when you looked over here, it was blocked off by all the purple Russian kale and the oregano and the cilantro. It was all above my waist, about, just above my waistline, maybe a little taller even. I'd say the oregano was about to there. Well, let's see. I can't see it. Anyway, it was taller than this dill here. If you remember, right? Remember how tall that oregano was? I cut it all back. Cut all the purple kale back and all the cilantro back. And in a week or two, you won't be able to even tell I did that. So I need to do the same for my parsley, which, look at, you remember last year I was showing you my oak leaves that were coming up that looked nothing like an oak leaf? I think the aerosols they're spraying are actually affecting our DNA structure and the plant's DNA structure, and it's making it flower too soon and do weird things like this. I've been growing parsley for a very long time, and I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, what's going on here? It doesn't make any sense. They're crazy. Who knows what they're up to? So I got the eggplant in, and I put it right here in front of the tarragon. And there's a couple more over there. There's kind of an empty spot. I put them there. And so far my sweet peas, that's where they're at. The ones that I planted out back in the pot, I've gotten like 8 off of it. I just haven't had any luck with it. Maybe I never will. But with that attitude, you know, I probably won't. I need to get out here and collect some more lavender, it appears. And there's a bunch in that pot over there too. Right over here. And it's been kind of like the chamomile. I'll cut it back and it shoots me right back some more flowers. It's quite the setup, isn't it? Quite the setup. So, it looks a little bit different with that all cut back, but you won't even be able to tell in a couple of weeks. My jalapeno peppers are starting to shoot off finally. If you remember, my jalapeno peppers last year were humongous. I've never had peppers that big ever. They did really well out here, but we had a really cold start, and they don't like the cold. And frankly, I wasn't even sure if they were gonna make it. That's how bad they looked. And these peppers over here were the same, but see, they just aren't getting as much sun as those over there. So, I can hardly wait till those are ready to be harvested, those linden flowers, so I can cut that back. So that whole section there will get a little bit more sun. And the Indian grasses that I was gonna move, because it didn't look proportioned right because they were so much bigger than the other ones, the problem was solved because none of them came back. They died off. I don't understand it. And I had them over there too. And so I wanted to get something established and growing out here because it just looks kind of silly, those rocks with nothing growing there. So I went ahead and planted rhubarb. And it's the kind of rhubarb that you can make pies and jams with. I'd bought some rhubarb before, and it wasn't the kind that produces stuff that you eat, so it was kind of silly. I planted it out back there by the wood, and I just got rid of it. I don't see the point of having a rhubarb plant that doesn't produce rhubarb. Silly. I need to get out here and harvest some of these blackberries. I mean, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, ready to be picked and made into jam or popped into the mouth. And my blackberry bush, my thornless blackberry bushes that I planted out by the kennel, their berries are a lot bigger and plumper, and they aren't as seedy. So, you know, when you bite into a blackberry, how it's all crunchy from the seeds. It's not like that at all. It's very, very different. And so all those flowers I started from seed in the containers I put out here since the Indian grasses didn't come back. And the passion flowers seeds that I planted, the flowers that look like they're from another planet, they look alien. I only had one break through, and I put it right here. See, I mean, a little tiny thing next to the calendula. And I got poppies and some rose moss. And gosh, I can't remember what those are called, or those. I have the tags inside though. They both get pretty tall though. They're pretty tall. And I put some more seed down too. So, if I'm remembering right, I had the yellow squash and the chili peppers and Thai peppers and a few leeks in when I was showing you the process of how I was digging that all up and filling the tires inside the tires with it. I'm pretty sure I did, but anyway, I have a few more tires that I'm going to put out here for the last tray of stuff I have, which is leeks and fennel. So this has a very small opening, so I just put a few okra plants in there, and I think there's a few leeks in there. Then cucumbers in both of these ones, and then of course I believe you've seen the squash and the peppers already. And my beets look beautiful. And like I said, I had put in the little bald spots seeds. I dropped more seed down. I'll have to thin that out, of course. I didn't do any. I actually took the time, took a chopstick, and poked holes proportionate, of how far they should be apart. And look at what it has done because of the rain. I might as well just went like this with the seed. Because I'm going to have to come out here and select which ones will be the ones to carry on and grow. Because I took all that time, poked special holes for each, and they all gathered anyway and congregated from the rain. My goodness. It's crazy. But they're all coming up everywhere next to each other instead of in the designated holes that I took the time to do. And a lot of the corn that I planted, specialty corn with the purple husks, I don't think they're coming up, guys. Unless that's one right there. But the corn that did not come up, I went ahead and planted up near these the logs. I went ahead and because the whole row basically didn't come up, and so I went ahead and just put some seeds down there. See, one did. Because this was a whole row next to this log. So I went ahead and spaced it and just planted some normal sweet corn there. I'm not sure how well it'll do. We'll see. See the rogue marigold over there growing from last year? I haven't really planted any of the marigolds this year. I have a ton of the seed, but I got some in that barrel over there, and I dropped a few seeds over here that they're starting. Actually, one's got a flower on it already. I put a few around here, but I didn't really. I should probably do that. I mean, there's still time, I think. If I put some out there where it gets lots of sun, maybe. I don't know. So much to do, so little time, but they're popping up everywhere in here. Right there, right there, right there. I mean, they're everywhere in there. So it looks different, because before you could only see the tippy top of that tomato plant, because the cilantro was so tall and flowery, and you couldn't see past it to see that tomato plant. And the oregano and purple kale, Russian kale. You won't even be able to tell by a couple weeks that I did that. And so, gosh, everything looks so pretty. Transformation and beauty. And all I can see is a black screen now. Okay, so I got my pie pumpkins in, and like I was saying I was gonna do, I went ahead and they're already busting through everywhere down here on the on the curbside, I planted all kinds of flowers from echinacea, calendula, chamomile, a bunch of different wildflowers are all popping up here, and will come back every year. Before you know it, it'll look just as loud and proud as all those wildflowers up there. Oh, and some zinnias are all. It's just a mixture of all different kinds of flowers, and they're already busting through. And as the seed drops, it'll probably start taking off even further up. I still need to whack back that pineapple basil, and haven't gotten to it yet. And let's see. Yep, the last tray. I need to get that in the ground. Oh, there's celery too. I got celery. Oh, there's a few peppers too. Thai peppers. Oh, I guess there's a variety of things. Because here is an okra plant too. The fennel. Something just popped up here. Those are Thai peppers. Those are Thai peppers. I am going to make sure I get all of my stuff that I want growing inside for the winter going out here. I want them completely established when I bring them in for the winter. That way any road black fungus flies are in there, because I'm still seeing them here and there. So I see moss coming in too and munching on them, but I want to make sure everything that I want to grow over the winter is established and going when I bring it in. I want them past tray point and because in the pot I planted this echinacea plant, and I just dropped some calendula seed down here. I want everything going and established when I bring it in for the winter. So I will actually get some tomato seeds going and a plant well established when I bring it in for the winter. That way I actually have winter tomatoes this season. This broccoli plant that I planted along with the potatoes, it was kind of rogue. It had little spearheads on it. Last video, I think or a few videos back, I was showing you, and they were bigger than that. But this all of a sudden started flowering, guys. Is that kind of like when an onion bolts? I mean, is it history now? Am I not gonna get spears of broccoli now that it has flowered? I don't know. Do you know? If it's not gonna, like, I just pulled that onion out that bolted because there's no point. I mean, it doesn't get, when they do that, they don't get big. You don't get big onions. They just bloom their flowers. If you remember right, I had a video and I was showing it, and it was all sprung up and it was getting ready to bloom its flower. So I just pulled it because you aren't gonna get a nice onion growth going. It's the only one that's bolted on me. Is broccoli like that? Once it flowers, it's pretty much done deal? Do you know? Because if so, I'm going to go ahead and dump it and collect the potatoes. I just cut back the dead potato plant, or it looks like this. So I need to collect some more potatoes. These potatoes in here. Yeah, I need to do both of these pots, but if I'm going to get broccoli off of this, I I'd rather have the potatoes go ahead and just rot and feed the broccoli plant. Because I've got potatoes in front and in back already, so I got plenty. I got plenty of potatoes. Um, I don't know. Is it done deal, or do the flowers turn into the spears? I don't think so, because these seem to me to be bigger before, and now they're starting to become flowers. Oh, silliness. The mammoth pumpkins I planted back here are looking better than last time. Oh, they're not looking so yellow and starting to take off, and the birdhouse gourds look good. My garlic's popping up everywhere here. I really need to get back here and pick these blackberries. ASAP today. I don't know about that broccoli plant. If no one knows and I don't get an answer by tomorrow, I'll have to research, which isn't a big deal. If you know, though, please let me know if I'm just wasting my time here. And all these echinacea plants are getting ready to flower. I picked 3 flowers from out front that I just planted last year. But at the end of the season, I'll be able to whack. As the flowers bloom, I'll cut the flowers off. But then towards the end of the season, I'll cut them off to about there and utilize the leaves. And I'm also, since they are so well established, the roots are very coveted. And I'm going to gather some roots. Not a whole bunch, because I don't want to lose I want to have just as many flowers, if not more, next year. So you got to be careful when you're doing that. And so, yes, I'll have lots of Oh, look at the scarlet beanpole runners, the red flowers on them. I was trying so hard during the winter to grow those, and they would take off, and then them damn black fungus flies would take them out. Now, I'm going to not have that problem this year, because I'm going to have well-established plants when I bring them in for the season. The zucchini looks all good except for this one right here. It looks a bit diseased. Which, with the aerosol spraying, it's not hard to do. Yeah, this is the thornless blackberry bush, and I've eaten the ripe ones off of it. See how much bigger they are? And they're not near as seedy at all. Okay. That's about it for today. Oh, I planted the rest of the morning glories in that box right there. And the other ones are out on that sign out there, the road. Those are what that plant in the dining room we're in that I have rooting all around the house. And so, yeah, so when you walk in here, it smells so good. It's like paradise. This stupid thing. I wonder, there's some kind of symbol up here. I don't know what's going on, guys. This Stupid candle. This stupid candle. Ta-ta.